Yes, that is where we're at. You may begin with your decision making and role playing.
All right. Desmos is gonna. I mean, they've probably already done this during the long rest. They should have, but Desmos is gonna turn to Gundren Rockseeker. So, Gundren, it is pretty obviously obvious you were kidnapped, but was it just you and who was it?
Sildar.
Sildar? Was it just you and Sildar on the road? How many goblins were there when you got ambushed?
Gundren says that there were at least 20. They captured them quite easily, and they took Sildar Hallwinter to a different location. I was knocked out, and when I awoke, I was here in Cragmaw Castle, and I've been here since.
I see. We did rescue Sildar. He's currently in Phandalin, and he's doing well. He actually sent us...
Sorry, go ahead.
He actually sent us to find Ulrich. Is that his name? The wizard?
You mean... What's his name? The wizard is Glass Staff.
That's his red brand.
Ulrich Yarno.
Ulrich.
Yarno.
Yeah. Do you recognize the name? Yarno?
Gundren Rockseeker, you can see his shoulders sag with relief. He's like, Sildar Hallwinter has become a good friend, especially on the road from Neverwinter. He mentioned that he was looking for somebody in the region. I imagine that probably is who he's looking for. I've never met Yarno Albrecht.
Just so you're aware, Yarno is in league with King Gruul, or at least was until we killed him.
Gundren Rockseeker gasps. No!
And Yarno also is known by the name Glassstaff. Have you heard of Glassstaff?
Gundren Rockseeker just says, just comings and goings. I've been trapped in that room behind you, being interrogated. So I never actually met anyone personally besides Gundren Rockseeker, or besides King Gruul. And every now and then a drow would come and ask me more questions about Waywocket Cave, but I never relented. I didn't tell them anything.
Speaking of which, did you learn anything about that drow?
Like what?
Just observation. Is there anything that we should know? Obviously, he can shapeshift, which is disturbing.
He gasps again. What? No, I never learned his name or anything about him. Just that he was a very evil person who tortured me relentlessly when questioning.
Yes, I see. And then Desmos is going to look to everybody else. I feel like he must be an underling of the Black Spider, or he could be the Black Spider himself. Although, I'm getting a little bit confused because we have the wizard. Now we have a shape-shifting drow, and then we also have the Black Spider. So it could be one of the two, or the Black Spider could be his own person.
Have you heard any mention of the Black Spider in your captivity?
Gundren Rockseeker's brow furrows and says, "Oh yes, and I intend to pay him a visit."
You sound as though you know where to find him.
Well, it shrugs. I imagine he's at Waywocket Cave with all the questions they're asking about it.
And you can lead us to Waywocket Cave with this map?
Absolutely. He points at the map and says, "You could lead yourselves there. Look how detailed it is. I drew this. Come on. It's supposed to be legible."
Well,
what's the significance of Waywocket Cave to you?
You see Gundren Rockseeker's eyes sparkle, and he says, "Just imagine the town of Phandalin in its heyday, the forge of spells running at full steam, the center of economy in this region." He's like, "What do you mean? What's the Waywocket Cave? It's the forge of spells."
So the Lost Mine of Phandelver is Waywocket Cave?
Precisely. He's like, we have to go explore it and find the Forge of Spells.
All right. Well, let me ask you this then: why did King Gruul or this Drow not use the map to find it?
He says, no, I imagine that they did. They're asking me how to get to the Forge of Spells.
Ah, I guess that makes sense. Caves can be very maze-like and
Labyrinthy.
Labyrinthian?
labyrinthine.
Gundren Rockseeker, in his dwarven knowledge, kind of like pushes up fake glasses. Actually, it's labyrinthian. I would know. I've dug some caves. I am a cave digger, you might say.
So, do you know the exact location of the Forge of Spells, or is it in a lost cavern?
He says, I don't know the exact location of the Forge of Spells. My brothers and I were actually working on excavating Waywocket Cave when I returned to Neverwinter for supplies, and then here we are in this debacle.
Oh, so we were traveling from Neverwinter with those supplies?
Yes, which unfortunately never made it, thanks to these goblins. He's like, my brothers are probably waiting for me now, if the black spider hasn't gotten to them already.
What were the
Waywocket
main
wants to
supplies
pipe
you
in.
needed? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, what?
I said Waywocket wants to pipe in real quick. It occurred to me as we were killing King Gruul that he would have known exactly who the black spider is, and we probably should have asked him before we killed him.
Before you vaporized him with lightning?
Yeah. Yep.
Runewood just looks at Waywocket somewhat tenderly and says, "It's all right. We were trying to kidnap the droll for that very reason, but failed."
I'd rather have him dead sooner than later.
Gundren
But we
Rockseeker
need
says,
information.
yeah, I mean, Desmos was, about to perish.
Yes.
He's like, you reacted appropriately, young gnome. He says, based on your stature and appearance, and not necessarily knowing that you're multiple hundreds of years old.
Worries. I'm only 140.
Oh, there you go.
All right, Ciil is going to cluelessly walk into the room, completely out of it, because he was not here for the entire conversation. And he's muttering something about owlbears.
Speaking of which, should we slay this owlbear just to save some nearby villages the pain and sorrow of this creature?
Ciil perks up instantly. Yes, we should. We need to kill it now.
We kill it. Why don't we just leave it?
Gundren, do you have any idea as to what size of force we may encounter when we enter Waywocket Cave?
Kind of folds his arms and thinks about it, and he's like, well, I think whatever the black spiders brought, we can't account for. He's like, I don't know who is in league with the black spider in his own band of villainy, but I am pretty certain King Gruul's forces and the Red Brand hideout, I'm pretty sure the Red Brands and the Cragmaw goblins were primarily here, so it can't be that many.
Are there any tools we need to acquire before proceeding to the cave, being as the tools you had shipped are now lost?
Well, speaking of which, we have all your goods deposited in Phandelver. They should be safe with Sildar.
Gundren kind of points over his shoulder at Ciil and says, well, we got one tool right there. But he says, no, just your basic caving equipment should be fine. And I appreciate you making sure my supplies got to Phandelver. And he says, for your efforts, I'll pay you 25 gold each when we get back.
Thank you kindly.
We left him in those woods. Oh, okay.
So what about the monster? Ciil says, pointing to the door.
I don't think we should kill it. There might be something in the room that we can sneak around the bear, but I have a fog cloud ability, so I'll be able to sneak in stealthily.
Ciil fixes Ivetta with obsequious glare.
Rangswarthy relentingly steps out into the hallway to look toward where the bear is, behind a closed door. Just checking one more time.
Also, we have a legion of goblins right outside these walls. Maybe we should sever this King Gruul's head and assert dominance over them.
Indeed.
Like it.
We shall stick it on a pike and parade it through the castle.
Is it still, whole?
His head.
Yeah, was it evaporated with light?
Oh yeah.
All his teeth fell out.
That's it. Shattered.
Lightning,
A gummy head stuck on a spike.
All right, so what are you guys doing? What's the plan?
Yeah, owlbear or pike?
Owlbear.
Owlbear.
All right, over then.
Alright, Desmos is gonna lead the party.
Ciil
to
is
the door.
Ciil vies for the leadership.
Alright.
They end up going shoulder to shoulder at the door.
Desmos lets him pass slightly.
Rangswarthy says, "This may be the only time I tell you, Ciil. Kick down that door."
As
With
you
pleasure.
approach the door, you hear what sounds to be sad keening.
What is keening? Like crying?
Yes, like a crying noise that an animal might make.
Can I use speak with animals to speak with this thing?
For a brief moment,
Yes.
Ciil's resolve falters, and he feels the slightest amount of empathy for whatever is whining on the other side of the door.
Owlbears are similar to alligators. Alligator tears.
That's hilarious.
Well,
What's your plan of action? Are we kicking the door down? What's going on?
Rangswarthy grabs Ciil on the shoulder and says, "Wait, it might be dangerous. You go first."
Wait, I thought you were going to talk to it. You're not going to talk to it?
I thought you were going to talk to me.
I thought I did, but nothing happened.
Oh, I didn't know you. I thought you just said can I didn't say you were going to.
Okay, well, do I have to? Yeah, I guess I'll just. Do I speak?
That will alert it.
What do I sound?
What's the question?
I can speak owlbear then, I can communicate. with
You
it?
can when speak with animals basically you can more specifically understand thoughts, feelings, messages, intentions from animals. Yes.
And they can they understand mine?
Yes, they understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, then how about get some intentions from this beast?
Right. Then I will ask this beast, "Who are you, and how did you come to this place of misery?"
It responds by informing you that it has been captured, imprisoned against its will, tortured, maimed, and kept here until some time that it has yet to determine.
Do you tell that to Ciil?
Yeah, do you tell that to me in time?
Why?
He's about to kick the door down.
Oh, okay. Ciil, this creature.
Ciil's foot is raised.
I yank you back by the shoulder and
This
say,
creature wants to kill you and has bloodlust.
this creature is telling us that it has been maimed and tortured and trapped here against its will. I think we should confer with it before deciding what to do.
Ciil suddenly all of the pieces fit together, and he understands all of the hurt that has been rushing through his soul in the past 12 hours. And he nods very slowly, kind of stepping to the side.
All right, and Rangswarthy asks the owl bear, "Where are you from, and how can we help you get home?"
It just responds with leave, 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 Neverwinterwood.
Okay. We have healers that could aid you, and we can show you a way to Neverwinterwood. Do you know which direction your home is?
You just like hear it say basically that it knows the way home, it just can't get out. And it talks about pointing, stabbing sticks.
Oh, we should probably
Yeah,
put our weapons away.
Rangswarthy instructs everyone to sheathe their weapons, and then he asks, "We can try to help you free. Can you fit through the door?"
It says it will fit through the door.
All right. Are you chained?
And no, it's not chained.
Interesting.
Alright, well, Desmos, with his soft spot for animals, is going to sheathe his sword and crack the door open and see if anything happens.
As you crack the door open, it kind of is pushed open as though like an animal would like nuzzle a door open. The owlbear starts to emerge from the door.
Wow, it is getting really small.
Yep, it emerges from the door, and has kind of looks around and smells you all, taking notice of your cautious disposition. It also cautiously pauses to wait and see what you all do.
Rangswarthy.
Back against the wall.
Yeah,
to
Desmos
give
is
space.
going to walk back towards these
Yeah.
beds just to give it some space.
Can you move me up against the wall?
Ivetta's going to grab some food out of her pouch
That was me.
and slowly
Realized.
give it, draw her hand closer to the beast and allow it to feed.
Rangswarthy
Go ahead.
is slowly going.
Go ahead.
Okay. Rangswarthy is also going to stretch out his hand slowly and touch the owlbear and give it one point of healing from Leon.
It takes the food and starts eating it, and when you lay on hand, it has like this Hollywood Jurassic Park moment where it's like a creature that should eat you, but it isn't, and it's like da 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 da, and it, like you like put your hand on its forehead and you're like, wow. Go ahead. And then it kind of does like a big stretch where it gets its bearings and kind of pushes past you to this door, and starts working its way out of the castle.
Wait. Wow. Cool.
Well,
Heck yeah.
that went a lot different than we had hoped.
In a good way.
In a very, very devious way.
Disappointing.
Ciil has a slightly dejected frown on his face, but he's not angry. How could anybody be in such situations?
Runewood wonders aloud if they had freed it earlier, if it would have aided them.
As it's leaving the castle, Rangswarthy asks if it knows anything of the black spider.
It says it hates black spiders.
Alright.
Black widows are the worst.
Ivetta's gonna go into the room and investigate.
You enter the room, and you see above you a jagged ledge on which sits a battered wooden chest.
Wow. Nice. Quick, go before I do.
I'm gonna
Before Matt
Get in there.
does.
Yeah. Quick, before Rangswarthy sees it!
Rangswarthy is currently propelling himself past Ciil, using Ciil to propel himself into the room.
Are you still
I draw my sword. My treasure chest. My dilapidated chest. Come on.
Rangsworthy just goes for the other chest. He's not going to fight over this.
Wait, there's another chest?
So there's two in there. Yeah.
Oh.
There's no. Those are tables.
Oh.
The wooden chest is on a ledge, like on a second story that is collapsed, and the second story has one like floating piece on the against the wall, and the chest is up there.
Ivetta gets it down and opens it up.
Is that
Yeah,
a
can I
Veta
read
or
it?
is that blue?
That's true.
Goss, what do you do? Well,
So you open the chest, and inside you see 90 electrum pieces, 120 gold pieces, a potion of healing,
Noise.
a scroll of silence, and a scroll of revivify.
that's cool.
The scroll of silence.
Revivify? Oh, so that means that probably gives us like
No, it's a radius where it's every creature within that radius is basically deafened, and they're also immune to thunder.
immune.
Immune to thunder.
In that zone, it is also impossible to cast a spell that requires verbal components.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Runewood actually has the knowledge of this spell. Sweet.
Wow.
Rangsworthy asks Gundren on the side which direction their heading will be when they go to Wave.
When they go to Waywocket Cave?
Yeah.
Let me look very quickly. Let me look post haste.
Haste.
He said it is south of here and east of Phandelver.
Rangsworthy.
He kind of like exasperatedly gestures to the map and says, "Is it not legible? Is there something wrong with it? Am I underestimating my ability as a cartographer? I don't understand. People keep asking me questions," and he just keeps going on. He's a little bit wacky since he was tortured for like 2 weeks.
Rangsworthy just ponderously walks down the hall and checks to see which direction the owl bear actually headed.
Owlbear left the castle northbound into the forest.
I was thinking perhaps we could follow in its wake and it would clear a path for us, but alas, 'tis not so.
Gundren Rockseeker assumes you said that out loud, and kind of is like, well, how did you get in the castle? If not, like, could you also not leave the same way?
Indubitably.
Indeed.
Enough of this sitting about. Let's go. Let's get on our way. This Waywocket Cave seems to be a very important place. And Ciil walks out the door.
Where are you going, Ciil? Which door?
Ciil is going to go towards the main entrance.
Ah.
Just kind of that direction.
This door.
Runewood gives a word of warning. Since we didn't do the whole pike parade, there might still be goblins about. So Runewood offers that word.
Yeah, Desmos is gonna peek through the arrow slit that he did previously and look outside and see if the camp of Gerblins is still there.
Gerblins.
The camp of Gerblins. You look outside the arrow slit, and you see what looks like a returning warband of goblins, hobgoblins, and other creatures to the castle.
Well,
Approaching.
let's
Right now.
Get the heck out of here right now. Back door.
Rangsworthy says, "Now let us follow in the steps of the owl bear
Yes.
As
from
they are,
whence we came," and they stride out.
as they're striding out, Ciil bolts past them, seeing the army from his vantage point from the door. He runs along with them.
So we all run out the direction that I'll be. Follow the Alvin.
Okay. As you exit the castle in a northerly fashion, you avoid notice of the returning warband, which looks halfway between scary because of numbers and halfway between starving goblins that probably don't have much fight left in them anyway.
And no leader.
That's fine.
And
Regardless,
the leader
it would
is
feel
definitely there, and you can see him, and he is scary.
Rangswarthy, as
Yeah,
a,
we just
as
keep
a
looking.
last.
Keep
Yeah, we
looking.
just keep.
All right, as you leave the castle, you are going to. Let's see here. I'm just loading up the next thing.
Oh yeah, friends are true.
Oh, actually, I think we could just do it from here, can't we? Yeah, I have it up here. Okay, let's go back to that. I'm taking you all up into the sky, Baba. Into the sky. Into the sky.
You know, I think you should be responsible for musical entertainment as well as narration.
Oh, yeah?
You will be our minstrel.
Yes.
Am I doing the score for this campaign?
Yes.
Wonderful.
We have no bard, so we need.
Yeah, I was when you said you weren't going to do Bard, I was relieved because I felt like it would be healthy, but I was also disappointed.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed being a bard in the last campaign I did, but you know, you don't do a whole lot.
Nope. Yeah, it's very supporty. Okay, so as you guys are leaving,
It's all white.
it's all what?
White.
Yes, indeed. Let me just look up this here. Sorry, I'm just looking up what the random encounters might be. So as you're traveling, Gundren Rockseeker says, good sirs and gentlewomen of the party, are we going straight to Waywocket Cave, or do you want to stop in Phandelver first?
I feel like we should get you some clothes first.
Gundren Rockseeker looks down. I am wearing clothes.
Well, they are quite ragged, are they not?
Kind of like does one of those, like he looks at his butt, at the back of his pants, like kind of, okay, I mean, I can see your point.
It's a bit raw on the back.
Yeah, I was like, I did feel a little drafty. So he's like, all right, well, we're gonna head to Phandelver then. So, as you guys are heading to Phandelver, let me do a dice roll here.
Gold.
We need to find Groot.
Yeah. Wait.
Yes, the Groot.
Should we head to Thunder Tree?
Let's go Thunder Tree. Runewood
Alright.
says, "Let's go Thunder Tree. It's a mystery I want to see."
Well, and
Ciil-
it's a good point Runewood makes.
It's an accident.
By going to Thunder Tree, we're less likely to notify our enemies of our whereabouts.
And Ciil desperately does not want to go back to Phandelver, and so he heartily agrees with Runewood.
Heckin', what is your problem with Phandelver?
No, Ciil doesn't want to go back. He has no ties there. He just
You were
wanders
living
around.
there.
Because
No,
why?
Ciil-
No, you were living
Anyway, we're going to Thunder Tree.
Yeah, we're going to Thunder Tree.
Why no supplies there? Wait, what? Why is Seals not wanting to go to Phandelver? I want to know.
I don't know. That's what I'm trying
He
to figure out.
has no ties there. It's not his hometown, so he has no reason to be there.
But that's not a reason to not want to be there.
Right. I mean, it's
Hey, you can't convince Ciil otherwise.
I know. I'm just laughing. It's curious. Okay. Anyway, all right. Thunder Tree. So you guys are making your way to Thunder Tree. Oh, jeez. So I gotta.
What?
I can't get you guys over there because the map is in a weird spot. So give me a second here.
I thought you had just rolled for a bunch of your whatever.
Yeah.
Your silly.
Is the map white for anyone else, or is it just me?
It's white for us.
Really? Wow.
Really,
Okay.
really.
Let's fix that. How about now?
Ha!
Oh!
We can see it. Oh, dude, we're at Thunder Tree?
Yeah, you just went from here Oh, I messed up. 1 second. Don't look at the map. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
I'm trying to leave, Matt.
Memorize it, quick.
Okay, okay, you're at Thunder Tree. Along the road, as you're walking, Ivetta notices that there are some very large tracks afoot.
Dang it!
Old bear track.
And she picks up the absolutely obvious to a person of her skill tracks of an owl bear.
Well, that's not north.
What do you mean?
There's
Yeah,
not
owl bear
only
said
one
that.
owl bear.
Yeah, that's the owl bear when it was heading in the direction it was going in. It headed north, or it said north.
This is its
This
cousin.
is north of Cragmaw Castle.
I guess north-ish.
Whoa.
It looks like it's west of. Anyway.
Cragmaw Castle's
Yeah.
right here.
Oh, okay. All right, I was kind of confused.
So there we go. We're following this thing.
Yeah.
Why is it going to?
I mean, well, he said Neverwinter is just in.
Yeah, we went to a wood.
You mean Thunder Tree? Why is he going to?
Are we
No,
at
we-
Thunder Tree?
Get out of there.
What is happening?
Okay, you should all be looking at Thunder Tree.
Oh,
So like a town with a bunch of squares on it?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay, as you arrive in Thunder Tree, oh, actually, before we get started, let me load up your characters.
Ooh, is this ruins? Oh, this is totally ruins. Oh, duh.
Wait a minute.
I wonder why it looks like ruins.
Yeah,
Oh.
why does it look like? It looks like no. It's just new construction.
Mm-hmm.
New construction. That's funny. So as you arrive in the ruins of Thunder Tree, you're approaching from the south here. Let me pull up the Ruins of Thunder Tree page, and we will continue from there.
By the way, there are tires in the fridge that you can gnaw on. It says Desmos.
It was extremely fun there,
Yeah.
as we all know. Freaking drunk.
I haven't even roleplayed that.
I know.
It's disappointing.
Yeah,
Ciil has about 3 times.
which is like the last person I was expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's really cool is Ciil's tattoos glow when he's pass out drunk.
For real?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
As you gradually, the trail becomes an old, overgrown lane winding between dilapidated buildings, choked in vines and brush. Ahead of you, in the middle of the settlement, rises a steep hill upon which stands a stone tower with a partially collapsed roof and an adjoining cottage. A dirt road hugs the base of the hill and winds its way between old stone houses, many of which are roofless ruins with interiors open to the weather. Other buildings appear more or less intact. The whole place is eerily silent. A wooden sign is nailed to a post nearby. It reads, "Danger! Plant monsters and zombies! Turn back now!"
Oh, perfect environment.
Yeah.
Wait, Ciil's eyes light up. Not literally. And he strides forward with a hop in his step.
Okay.
It's too bad Hannah's not
remember,
here.
guys, while we're here, we have the locket at that heirloom locket.
Exactly.
Where it was at the base of a tree, right?
No, it's in the Myrna's father's shop, but he had an apothecary, I'm pretty sure.
So we have to find the ruins of an apothecary.
We have to find an heirloom. There's like an heirloom necklace.
Well, right, but we can identify the building just by.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
I said we can't identify the building just by its ruins. I doubt.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
Anyway,
What do we know of this locket? Like from asking Hannah's character, I forgot what she learned about it. Is it magical or is it just an heirloom?
Something we must find out.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we know that, but
Yeah, I was gonna say all you know is that it's a valuable locket, and that she is willing to give it to you if you find it. She's willing to. That was her payment for being rescued by.
Right.
It's definitely.
do we know more about, like, so we know it wasn't an apothecary? Do I have that right?
That is correct. Yeah.
All right, Ciil, what are you doing?
Ciil kicks the door down to the house on the left, eyes looking, peering into the darkness for zombies.
So as you approach the door, this appears to be a small house, better condition than the ruined and dilapidated structures nearby. The doors are reinforced with heavy iron bands, and thick shutters protect the windows. As you kick the door, it barely shudders.
That was
But
Ciil,
in a returning sound, you hear, "Hello, hello, who goes there?"
oh, what? Ciil is chastened by the fact that there are people living in this village, and he's too astonished to act.
Ciil, what is it?
A voice, I believe.
What did they say?
Said like, hello,
We
anyone
approach.
there?
We approach.
Rangswarthy grabs the or taps Shaye on the shoulder and beckons her to come speak with these people since she can relate who it was she rescued and to see if they have any connection.
I guess Shaye does so, like talking through the door, and the individual inside kind of cracks the door open and says, "Ah! You're no ash zombies! Come on, quick! Come inside! Come inside!"
He's a hag. Boilers in her stew.
There are like,
Desmos. Yeah. Are we all going inside?
yeah.
Yeah.
Runewood is going to stay outside and keep.
We just killed King Cole. I think we
You could just peek out the door. You could just
I'll be by the door.
like
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, I guess inside.
I wouldn't be outside.
As you enter, you see that it's like a mostly intact cottage. Seems to be furnished comfortably, if minimally. And this person in front of you appears as a gaunt, white-bearded human. He's very hospitable to you, and he says, "Please make yourself at home. My name is Rydoth."
Your name is what?
He says, "My name is Rydoth. Reidoth."
Did you say Randolph?
No, common mistake. Rydoth. I get Randolph all the time.
Rydolph, what are you doing in this ruined village?
He looks somberly down at his hands, which he kind of, like an old man, he just sort of wrings his hands nervously, and he's like, "Well, I'm a druid. I love nature, and this is a town of tragedy." It seems like he doesn't get interaction often, so he's like, finally I could tell some of my story. He's like, this poor town has been struck by evil magic. It turned everything upside down, I tell you. Ash zombies everywhere. The plants are going crazy. So he says, I use my time to attempt to right this so that nature can be neutral and pursue its natural course again.
Why did you invite us in so quickly?
He's like, "You're not ash zombies. What? I mean, are you going to stab me or something? I'm a druid. I'm not worried about it."
What time of day is it right now?
You guys would have left Cragmaw Castle like morning, so let's just say it's nighttime.
Okay. Do the zombies only come at night?
He's like, "No, they're pretty active all the time."
How do you manage to survive?
How do I manage to survive? I'm a very talented druid. I mean, I blend right in. If I stepped outside, you wouldn't even be able to see me.
That's quite the feat, Ciil says, sizing him up once more.
Yes, and it is good that I'm quite good at this because I have noticed some tricky people on the other side of town that I'm concerned about. I was actually going to investigate them sometime tomorrow.
Oh, do tell.
Tonight?
What's that?
Go ahead, Blue.
Oh, I just said, oh, do tell.
He's like, well, I suspect, I don't know, some religious group. They're in black masks and cloaks, and they're currently hiding on the eastern side of town. So I was going to maybe try to scare them off or see what their purpose was. Restore balance to the area, you know.
Black masks and cloaks.
Yes.
What color were the cloaks?
Also black? And he's like, it concerns me because, truthfully, this always happens. Every time. Every time a dragon enters the area, something goes weird. Black cloaked people show up. I hate it. It's the worst.
Did you say dragon?
He's like, oh yes. We're currently hosting a dragon in the main watchtower. Been working out a way to get rid of him as well.
What color dragon?
He's like, I recommend, in fact, that you all leave and just let me handle this.
What color is the dragon?
I believe it is emerald.
Let's see.
So, a dragon cult, eh?
That's my suspicion. Very, very clever.
A pathetic bunch. Sorry excuse for a religion. Mere
What
deification.
do you know about them? What do you know about them, Ciil?
Me? Ciil?
Yeah.
He shrugs. All I know is that they don't actually serve anything except for a monster, and that's good enough to have them killed.
So usually when they're around, when the dragon's there, they're like there to fight off people who are trying to kill the dragon or get rid of the dragon.
Can Ciil do a history check?
On that information?
Yeah.
To
see how much he knows about dragon cultists.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
Well, a 3.
You know that dragon cultists bring bad tidings, and that they are regional at best with no greater religion besides. You know that you should be scared of a dragon named Tiamat, but you're not sure why.
Tiamat?
So of a dragon, or is this the dragon? Runewood wants
no.
to know what the name of this dragon is.
The Rydoth says, I have no idea what the name of this dragon is, and I don't care to ask. I'm trying to make it go somewhere else. I'm not going to ask it nicely. He's like, actually, that's not a bad idea.
Runewood chuckles.
Well, we can help you clear out these ruins if you'd like. We are currently looking for a piece of treasure.
A locket.
Ciil Arnon, Dragon Slayer, Ciil says to himself in a wistful tone.
Runewood cocks an eyebrow.
Are there any neighbors that would aid us on this mission?
Rita says, well, I kind of have other stuff going on. If you guys feel like handling this, that would be fine.
So, are you saying you wouldn't be accompanying us?
It's like, all right. I mean, I can is what I'm saying. But like, there's a lot of you. I don't necessarily know you. It sounds like you're just grave robbers. I mean, honestly, you're just here for a locket. Like, I mean, you're scrounging around ruins.
No,
doesn't sound like you
actually
care about balancing out nature. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's fine. We'll go our separate ways. If you guys are all dead tomorrow, I'll just continue what I was doing.
We actually
Waywocket
rescued the previous owner of this locket, and she actually gave us the location.
Exactly what a grave robber would say.
Grave robbers!
No, ask. Wait.
With that
Do
bomb
you
in his
do you
face.
know Myrna? Do you know Myrna's family?
He kind of like pulls something out of his
Her
ear.
father was an apothecary.
He pulls something out of his ear, like a twig or whatever, and he's like, "Ah, it was itchy," and he's like, "Oh, I mean, I know that this town has an apothecary. I mean, this just like I moved in to rebalance this area. I don't know anyone who lived here. Oh, God forbid."
Can I roll a persuasion check to convince him to join us?
Sure.
While you're doing that, Runewood approaches and asks him, "What do you know about the plants? You said that nature's imbalanced. Are any of the plants around here poisoned?"
Oh yeah, baby.
He goes, absolutely. Some of the plants have been animated. Some of them are spreading poison. It's a disaster. It's a geological nightmare out there.
Okay. So I rolled a 16, but I'm not proficient in persuasion, so I don't get the bonus, right?
You get the bonus. The proficiency
just don't have
bonus
your
is not +2. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 16
Alright,
plus
so
3 is 19.
I got 19 total.
Okay, so I'll say you succeed, but like let's hear your argument to get him to join you.
Okay. Look, we've been cleaning out goblin lairs. We actually killed the leader and king Gruul. You might know his name, King Gruul from Cragmaw Castle. We just came from there. I've been living in Phandalin my entire life. I recently returned because of the news of the Red Brands harassing it. So it would be much appreciated if you could help us in this endeavor. I think we want the same thing.
He goes, what? You're heroes. Why didn't you just say so? Sure, I'll help you.
Yeah. Runewood also chimes in that you could say that what we've been doing so far as a company is bringing balance, which sounds like a goal that is similar to yours.
Exactly. I am perfectly willing to help.
Rah rah.
Rangswarthy says, as a paladin of the Oath of the Ancients, I admire your desire to reform this ruinous place.
He kind of gives you one of those elbow nudges. He's like, Paladin, it's like almost a druid jealous, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Rangswarthy picks up the twig that fell out of his ear and puts it in his own.
Gross.
Ew.
even Rydoth's like, ugh. He's like, that was in my ear, you know.
Well, any way I could get closer to being a druid.
But Rydolph?
Reidoth. Rydoth.
Rydolph. Do you happen to know the location of the ruined apothecary?
He says, I would. It's treacherous, but absolutely, I could take you to the building in question.
Is it on the east side of the town?
Yes, indeed it is.
I see. Well, Desmos is going to look to his party. Should we slay this dragon first? I don't really like the idea of him looming around while we're looking for treasure.
Runewood asks, "Are we trying to slay the dragon? Trying to convince it to go elsewhere?"
Slay it!
We do.
Runewood
What are the dragons?
gives Ciil a warning look.
Can I roll a history check to see how much I know about dragons? Because I can metagame and say like they're typically pretty evil intended. So
Sure. Roll a history check.
another 16 plus 1, so 17.
You know that dragons are generally evil. You have suspicions that this one probably is as well, and should have no issues with like you should have no issues fighting and killing this dragon. As typically, it's a threat to Neverwinter. It's a threat to Phandelver. The surrounding area is better off without it.
Yeah, so essentially, like in D&D, in Lord of the Rings, dragons.
The only reason I brought it up was because, dang it, what's this druid guy's name?
Right off.
Right off. I'm just gonna call him Dolph.
Just call him Rudolph.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it just sounded like he said to persuade it to leave instead of kill it. That's the
I
only
believe
reason
he was speaking figuratively.
Was he? Or cowardice?
Or cowardice.
Rydoth chimes in and he says, "It's definitely cowardice."
Runewood grins and appreciates his honesty.
Yeah, either way, and Desmos nods at Ciil. This dragon is pure evil, so we should probably clear it out of these ruins.
Aye, and we are no cowards.
Before
like,
we leave,
Rydoth, you should try it.
Before we embark on this, Rydoth, do you happen to have like a map of the town so we can kind of get an idea of what all of this is around us?
Do you guys see this map or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, he shows you essentially this map in a more simplified form, with the different paths and the different buildings, and he kind of points out to you like what they are, and he makes you aware that this building right here is the apothecary in question, and that this is the tower with what he assumes the dragon has. He hasn't noticed that it left today, so he assumes the dragon is still there. And then he says, pretty much everywhere else is deadly.
Hey, guys, just letting you know, Hannah will not be able to join us today.
Oh,
What?
that
And
is
I
tragic.
am gone for the next 10 minutes or something.
You're gone for the next 10 minutes?
He said the next 10 business
I'm
days.
brooding and meditating, preparing for the upcoming...
So she's gone for 10 business days.
No. Ethan needs to talk to Hannah for 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Can you just send Ethan with... does Hannah want to, like... I guess I'll let him handle it. They're brother sister. But I guess, like, how do we... I was kind of expecting her to get on eventually. I think that this is fine to run without her. I think she will be disappointed she missed it. What are you guys thinking? Do we want to wait for Ethan to get back before continuing, at least?
Yeah, we could explore like some buildings or something.
Yeah.
Well, we could
Poison sounds great.
we could maybe come back to this location at a later time. Like if we recognize that we can't get supplies here, we could just go get back to Phandelver or something too. I don't know.
And Ciil will sit watching the watchtower.
Or we're actually closer to what is that city on the coast? We're closer
Neverwinter?
to Phandelver. We could just go to Neverwinter and get some serious stuff.
I mean,
That's a big city.
I wouldn't really see the point in doing that right now. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't think we should go to Waywocket Cave this session with Hannah gone. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It is a bummer that she's not here.
Yes, it is a bummer. I guess I'm like leaving it up to you guys. I'm down for whatever. If you guys want to postpone, if you feel like this is content that like Hannah can miss, it's technically optional. So like she's just missing out on the wow factor. But I can take her on a different thing privately if she wants some time to make up for it.
Well, what does Hannah want? I don't want to
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. I wanted to say to ask
Yeah.
Ethan to ask her, but like I don't want to be involved in whatever's going
No,
on.
I
if
think
it's
that's a great
personal.
idea. We should definitely ask Hannah.
She would say she wants to be here, she wants to hang out, but she totally understands and she doesn't want to inconvenience us. That would be pretty much verbatim what she'd say.
Is that like her feeling bad and not wanting to inconvenience people, or is that her honest, like, she's honestly okay with it?
That's more like her feeling bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that doesn't, I don't know. I don't want you guys to miss something because you're feeling bad.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that's kind of a big deal. I mean, dragon.
Let's say we do some exploration, just kind of poke around,
Yeah.
maybe find the locket, that kind of thing. And
Maybe
then
take out some of the cult guys and not the dragon.
Yeah, I don't
Sure.
really want to just like tail and run away from the scenario that we just.
Well, let's go ahead and start taking out some of the
I mean,
cultists.
I think
really good at
exploring the village is fine. I'll let you guys know. Like, I'll do like a pause on the game and let you know if we should wait until Hannah is available.
neat. Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Ethan, working chairs out here. I took that table.
So what did the 10 business days come from? Where did I hear that?
No, it was just 10 minutes. So I think people were talking over each other. So you probably heard days. I don't know.
Okay. I was like, 10? That's a whole week?
Right, and then it's even funnier that you're like business days. Like the heck? Why? 10 business days.
I said 10 business days. I just threw it in there to be completely honest.
Oh, Matt!
Turd burglar.
You are a turd burglar.
What a turd burglar.
Oh, Matt Brosnan.
Since you're in Nevada, the same stuff that I always.
So I think we were talking to Dawson Tuck about holiday travels and whatnot. But I heard through the grapevine that y'all were doing a big Thanksgiving bash.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Yep.
Is that like traditional with you guys? You guys normally do big Thanksgiving stuff?
Actually, yeah. I mean, it varies throughout the years. You know, it's just kind of like one year everyone was supposed to come and nobody came, so we invited a bunch of like oddball, like, you know,
Randos.
Yeah, randos. So it was like
Homeless people off the street.
no, it was just like random people we knew from town. So it was just kind of fun how it every year it's just kind of unique. But yeah, I would say in general they are on the larger side.
Interesting.
Yeah, so Bailey and Ezra, I think, are supposed to be coming this year.
What?
Yes.
Hey, babe.
So
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
you guys
I
should
did.
totally come.
I already knew this information. I thought you knew that.
I did not.
Our house should be more spacious by then.
I am
Well, that's
going
right.
to
You
discuss
got
with
your-
my wife our Thanksgiving plans.
You might have to discuss with Mike too.
That's true.
I don't want to leave him in the.
I'll see what Mike wants to do, and then
Hanging.
we'll go from there.
He just sent me a video of a bunch of puppies.
I know. I told him not to, and he was like, "Whoops."
Oh, they're so cute.
What an asshole.
They're like so cute. Oh my word.
Is Ethan back? Are we all here?
No.
No, Ethan's like,
Okay.
Well, I guess we could keep talking to this. To ask him like what color hair the zombies.
Ask him what?
What color hair the zombies?
What color hair do they? He's like, why? Why is that information anyone wants to know?
How do we defeat the zombies?
With Paladin.
Rydoth says, well, pretty much anything will do. It's it's not like they're just zombies, ash zombies.
But they're not like they're undead, aren't they? Or no?
Oh, he's like, I mean, it's indicative in the name. But yes, they're ash zombies. So it's like,
What the heck is an ash zombie?
He
Yes. What's the difference between a regular zombie and an ash zombie?
He's like, well, they're zombies that are created from a geological and magical disaster. Basically, when magic combines with some event, it has a chance to create blistering effects across the world. It's like in this case, Thunder Tree was devastated by an explosion, and in that explosion, the magical ash swept through the area and turned anything that was living into a zombie made of ash.
So it's like magical
Magical what?
fallout.
Magical what?
It's a cause and effect.
He's like, basically, 30 years ago... He's like, I mean, honestly, you guys should know this. 30 years ago, Mount Hotenau, to the north, completely devastated Thunder Tree. In that wake of natural disaster, a plague of zombies made of ash kept killing, and they took over the whole town and killed everyone that survived. Now, most of them are kind of crumbly. They're not so scary, but the ones that remain are the most dangerous.
So do they gain power from any means?
I don't think they gain power. They're just the ones that were strong enough to survive this long.
I see. So do these zombies, these ash zombies, inherit any of the traits of their previous forms?
He's like, man, that's a good question. No, not that I can tell. They seem pretty stupid.
What's the quickest way to dispatch them?
Good thrust with whatever weapon you're carrying. Some quick wit. I've set traps. I've caught them in traps. They're not too smart. But basically, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any sort of specific way. They're pretty weak. He's like, I'll be honest with you, they are. Other than the poisonous attack that they have, where they like poison you. Other than that, they're pretty weak.
So when you say that most of the buildings in town are dangerous, is it because they're inhabited by ash zombies, or is it some other reason that they're dangerous?
He pushes up his funny hat that he wears. Well, on top of the ash zombies, there's also twig blights everywhere. Like, that's the main problem, actually, is twig blights all over the place. He's like, that's part of the balancing nature that I'm talking about, man. Like, twig blights are no joke.
So how do you deal with twig blights? What do you do?
I set them on fire. They hate that.
Good to know. So, based on
Sacred
my
flame.
previous history roll, would I know that this green dragon is a poison dragon? Or what
Basically.
element dragon it is?
Why would you think that it's a poison dragon?
Because it's green.
Because it's green?
A rogue.
Let me think about this for a second. You are a hero adventurer. In your travels, you might have encountered such knowledge. Yes, you do.
So it is a poison dragon.
Yes, you deduce that probably it is a poison dragon.
Runewood shudders.
That would explain the zombies spitting poison.
Let us.
Probably.
Then yes.
Oh, do you guys want me to start posting pictures of things that are like in the campaign?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Sure.
Okay.
And if there are places or people that we can't see on the map, if they have like a difficult name to spell, maybe you could just type it and put it in the chat.
Sure. Yeah, I'll start doing that. Sounds good.
Twig blight. Yeah. It sounds like evil dragon influenced me.
So, can Rangswarthy asks the druid, can a dragon create zombies, or is it? I mean, was this eruption related to the dragon by any chance? Or?
He goes, oh no. This is common. Dragon flies over, sees comfy watchtower, lays down, collects gold, gets settled. It's totally not a thing that this dragon caused. I just have now also a dragon to deal with. It's ridiculous.
Runewood asks, how do you protect yourself against poison?
He's like, I'm a druid. Like that's. So,
Dang it!
it's like what?
Is
Do
it
you,
any
Everything.
Do you have any
Any tips?
poison resistance concoctions at your disposal?
no, not really.
I thought you were a druid.
Well, he's like, I am, but it's not like
So you don't make concoctions?
not always. No. Basically, what you don't understand is when druids transform back and forth, it's pretty straightforward to get rid of poison. And he's like, I also know a spell that protects me from poison in general. So like, I'm not super. It's not something I've thought about in a long time. As you know, when you're in nature, things poison you all the time. So like,
Well, if we aid you in restoring balance to nature here, in exchange, could you teach our wizard this spell?
Runewood grins slyly and says he actually knows one.
Oh.
Protection from poison.
yeah, the druid snaps his fingers. I knew I liked you. Yes, that's the one I know.
Runewood is very pleased.
And then for Desmos and myself, are we immune to poison, or is it just common illness?
What? Why would you be immune to poison?
Well, I just at level 3, the paladin is paladin, so we
It's
didn't.
divine health, so it's disease.
Okay, disease, not
Yeah, and as a dwarf, I think you have dwarven resilience, right? Which doesn't that give you
Resistance to poison.
resistance to poison?
It would probably be.
Dwarven resilience. You have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you have resistance against poison damage. So that's a dwarven trait that you carry.
I wonder. Shoot, I didn't read anything else. Having resistance. Maybe.
Alright, I'm getting 7 feet right now. That's building.
Fuck.
Rangswarthy takes some of his torch making materials and starts wrapping arrows to prepare flaming arrows, and suggests anyone else who wants to light up some twig blights to do the same.
Indeed. I'll do the same.
All right, you each have now prepared 20 flammable arrows.
Nice.
And then, Lainey, do you want any, or Runewood, any flammable crossbow bolts for you?
Is that a thing?
I'm sure
You can make them.
Made.
I actually have a hidden crossbow myself.
Yeah, then yes, I.
Craft double the amount.
I need your bolts. I need your crossbow bolts.
Runewood get Rangswarthy's bolts. His 40. So you can fashion them in such a way.
So one of the details I missed was I didn't actually get to pick up any bolts when I picked up the heavy crossbow. I planned on it, but I never actioned it.
So you are crossbow boatless.
You mean when we were in the Red Ram? You didn't get any? Sorry.
No. This was in. Remember the armor, Sildar, whole winters,
Yeah.
and the heavy crossbow.
My beard.
I sure hope you find crossbow bolts on your adventuring.
Runewood gives you 10.
And flaming bolts.
Well, speak with. Well, I think Rangswarthy made all of mine, or at least half of mine. So yeah, they are flaming.
Sweet.
Would you mind making?
Sure.
Is that you can do that?
I have torch.
You have that.
I have torch material.
Perfect.
My explorer's kit. So I'm using some of my torch material to make flaming arrows.
All the torch stuff you're making flaming arrows specifically for.
We're dealing with the twig blights, of course.
Ah, yes.
Though I will just
You got fireball.
I will just sacred flame all those guys.
Indeed. I have firebolt.
Fire arrows aren't even an item? Well, they are now.
I was gonna say, are they not?
No, they're not in D&D Beyond at least.
Oh, well,
Elias,
I'm sure they
please.
are otherwise. Yeah, like basically D&D Beyond is great, but it's also got really big issues as well, like huge flaws. Yeah.
Oh, I offer to. Well, it'd take too long. Never mind. I was going to try to find a way to make the ends of Ciil's staff flammable,
That seems,
but it'd burn his staff.
yeah, seems tricky.
Tricky.
So, on successful hit, a crossbow bolt that deals, like a firebolt, deals the normal amount of damage. And apparently, unless they have a vulnerability to fire, they do not ignite. So that is something like why you wouldn't just use them on regular targets. They only become like ignited on fire if they are vulnerable to fire, which you know from Rydoth that twig blights are.
Extra red.
Okay, nice. Okay. You already added 10 to it.
Yeah. I did.
I think I had 40, so now I'm at 30. No, I was at 41. Did you change my sheet?
Yeah, we just have a couple people off and about. Doss and Ethan are not here.
Okay. That's fine. We'll keep waiting. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about campaign-wise, like, otherwise?
You're building it easy.
What is your character?
Desmos is gonna walk outside, looking left and right and to and fro, and see if you can see any of those twig blights around.
You see no twig blights, and you, from Rydoth's description, he did inform you that, in his voice, twig blights are dastardly devils because you can't even tell them apart from a dead bush. They just look exactly the same until they jump out at you. Rah!
Are they even that
Can I
strong?
roll a perception check to see if I see any?
You see none.
Dang it!
The wind blows through the town and all the bushes rustle.
Desmos gets creeped out and runs back inside.
Runewood says, "Welcome back."
Anything to share?
Rangswarthy says, "Get off the road!"
Get off the road!
It's really good.
Nice. Love it. Desmos, when he was outside, he could feel the calling of some essence reaching into his heart, beckoning him.
Ooh.
Yuck. You gotta do something now. You gotta, like, jump around, shake it off.
Desmos follows the beckoning.
No! Rangswarthy, go with him. I mean, so he can't go alone.
I smell the air.
No! Runewood
The air,
says
it calls you to the building across from the druids.
No! Runewood says, "You fool,
Desmos
get back here!"
Creep over
No!
and peek inside.
As you peek inside, it's a dusty room with a single chest.
Rangswarthy lassos him and just allows him to enter, but
Lassos him?
You throw a
Yeah,
rope around him?
yeah,
Toddler.
yep, exactly.
Well,
Well, just in case he just hits the Lord in his
Alright. Elias, I know you're pranking me right now, but I'm gonna fall for it anyway.
Alright, go for it.
Desmos is gonna draw his sword and shield and slowly approach the chest.
Runewood says, "I hope you don't think I'm gonna use a spell slot on you. I'm not gonna waste my poison spell slot on you."
And he's going to jab the chest with his sword.
I thought you dropped it outside.
No, I equipped it.
I thought you said I dropped my sword and shield.
Wrong.
You drew your sword and shield. Okay.
I was like, why
As
did
you
you say
stab
that?
the chest, nothing happens.
All right, is it locked?
It is locked.
I try to break the lock.
You successfully break the lock with your brawny, muscular arms.
My +4 muscular arms. I'm gonna open the chest.
You open the chest, and a cloud of dust envelops you. You coughing on the smoke, but as you look down in the bottom of this chest, you see what is it called? An ornate hilt of a sword at the bottom of the chest.
Ooh. I'm going to cast. Well, I guess it's not really cast. Let's see. I'm going to. No. Let's see. Divine Sense.
Is it a cantrip?
No, it's like a paladin ability.
Okay.
I'm gonna Divine Sense to see. As an action, you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your turn, your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Halo spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. You can use this feature 4 times per long rest.
You sense undead in your general vicinity.
Okay. But no evil from the chest or anything.
Nothing evil, no.
I'm gonna grab the hilt and draw it epically.
As you grab the hilt of the sword, it sears the palm of your hand and creates a connection with you that you're like unable to let go of the sword. But as you hold it, a beam of pure radiance and light appears from the hilt and shoots out into a long sword's length amount of sword.
Aiming sword, light.
So it's like
lightsaber.
So it's like an electric shock that I'm gripping the hilt.
More
can't let go.
like you're letting go of a burning log, or you're holding onto a burning log.
Do I need to roll like a Constitution saving throw or something?
No, it's not actually hurting you. It's just like you're experiencing a willpower event.
Do I need to roll for that?
No, you don't need to roll for it.
No more worries about dark vision.
Ooh, there you go.
A flaming sword and
Feels like a win.
so
It's
Desmos swings it around a little bit and then puts it in his scabbard. What happens?
As you go to put it into your scabbard, the blade of radiance disappears, and when you let go of the hilt, it just drops to the floor because nothing is actually being sheathed.
Alright. Desmos will pick it back up and put it in his satchel.
All right.
And then he'll return to the party. Hey, look at this badass sword I found.
As you look down at your hand, you see that it has in fact burned your hand, and what appears to be an aged scar, a burn scar, is on your palm now.
Sick. I burned my cloak. Have a burned hand. What else will burn? I like this theme.
The rest of your little hair.
I cut off my man bun.
Yeah, you don't have much hair, so you may as well burn the rest of it off.
Alright. Desmos is gonna return to the hut. He's actually gonna approach Waywocket. I think I found something interesting that might pique your interest.
Do tell.
and he draws the hilt from his satchel and makes sure it's not pointed towards anybody.
So you don't need a scabbard. Cool.
Oh, so you're showing me your sword?
Yes. Does it ignite again, Elias?
When you think about it igniting, it ignites.
Oh, that's sweet.
Whoa.
It ignites.
Sweet. I cast Identify.
Okay. You identify that this is the Sunblade. It is a +2 sword, which deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage when you hit it deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage, and when you hit an undead with it, they take an additional d8 of radiant damage.
That's nutty.
It has finesse properties. It can be wielded by people with proficiency in short swords or long swords, and it has a luminous blade that radiates light in a 15-foot radius, and then dim light an additional 15-foot radius.
That is exactly what I needed.
When you are wielding this blade, you can use an action to expand or reduce the light by 5 feet to a maximum of 30 or a minimum of 10.
Wow, so it's like a lighthouse,
This
essentially.
sword was meant for you.
I know.
Chimes in.
What's the name of the sword?
It is called the Sunblade.
Blade. That's dope.
Ivetta asked Desmos if she can hold it.
No!
It might singe you a bit. Oh no, I hate you. Never mind.
How is he gonna react to you? Just testing it.
Gives her the stank eye over his shoulder.
Ivetta chuckles like,
But
we're gonna get over it.
but then he actually walks over to her without saying anything and kind of folds out the hilt to her.
Because she doesn't know.
No, I have to.
Oh, that's
So he holds it up to her.
Come on, Ivetta. Make a choice.
you look suspicious. She'll grab it.
As
and-
you grab the Sunblade's hilt, you fall to the ground in a seizure of pain. You take 1d6 damage, which comes out to
Oh.
4 damage. 4 damage. And it's like when the Eye of Sauron, when people touch the ring, it like flashes in your mind this great evil presence, like basically intends harm towards you.
She should have been able
Wait,
to.
why couldn't I have rolled?
Because she rolled a 1!
Nah.
What?
DM rolls.
Desmos is a butt.
He quickly takes it from her hand and then puts it away. And then heals her the 4 points.
Thanks.
That's good.
He grabs her hand and strokes it and heals it.
Rip it out of his. I can't get back.
Runewood is rolling on the floor laughing.
Who is?
Runewood.
Nice. Also, in your identify, you realize that this weapon will require Desmos to attune to it.
Sweet. That's
So you
fair.
have to get some more.
It's very fair. So I will store it in my backpack for the time being. Otherwise,
As you
if
go
I don't,
to store it in your backpack, you like try to let go of it, and it does not release from your hand.
Makes sense.
wait, but I gave it to Ivetta.
When she gave it back, or when you picked it back up, it is now no longer leaving your hand when you let go of it.
All right.
Gotta get used to that pain.
Alrighty. So it's stuck to my hand. So what happens if I don't attune to it? Like, what kind of disability do I have?
Anything that requires two hands is at a disadvantage.
Okay, so if I tried to wield it at like a two-handed thing, like a two-handed
No,
attack.
no. Anything that requires you to have two available hands, like climbing a wall, is at disadvantage. But like right now, if you try to attack with it without attunement, it's like basically attunement gives you the special magical properties of it. So like right now, you can already call forth the blade, so you'd be able to do damage with it. You wouldn't be able to shrink or increase the light sphere, and then for now, it's not a +2 until you attune.
Okay, so it's a long sword stuck to my hand essentially.
Right now, yes.
Okay.
Did you actually move?
Yeah, I did. That is freaking dope.
Is it turn, please?
Yeah.
Is Ethan back yet?
No, I don't know. I think maybe some should. I don't think we should.
Probably should.
Do you guys want to just call it a night for now?
I
10:30, a little bit earlier than we may be expecting, but
Let's see what's up.
Ethan just walked back in.
okay.
30 minutes.
He's back.
He has returned.
She
Hello, he.
Hello.
Well, what you missed is Desmos decided to go outside on his own, and he went into that room,
That's
and his idiocy was rewarded.
Ha!
Like it was rewarded.
He
Of
has
course, that's the most Tuckerman thing.
Now
I've
he
ever.
has a +2 Flammenwerfer.
He has like
Whoa.
a lightsaber.
Flammenwerfer?
Hans grabs the Luger.
Right.
He is going to palm
And
you up.
Ivetta asked if she could hold it, and then he gave it to. Not telling her what happened.
He took 4 damage.
She could hold it.
You should hand it to your enemies. It's like, here you go.
Yeah, like because when he picked it up, it was searing pain, and he basically created. Nah, just burns.
I feel like I want to make sure that I reiterate to you that an evil presence wanted to harm her.
Oh
You
no!
bonded-
Oh, wanted to harm Ivetta?
Yes. I felt
Oh,
like you guys didn't understand me because your response was laughing, rolling around on the floor, and I was like,
Yeah.
I felt like probably that didn't get through in communication there because, like the One Ring, when she touched it, she felt the weight and presence of great evil want to do her harm.
Oh, nope, didn't catch that.
Alright, so Tuck is carrying around a demon. Very nice.
So you're gonna attune, you're gonna get cozy buddy with the demon.
So. Desmos didn't feel anything. All he had was like the burn in his hand. I mean, that's kind of a sign.
Good sense.
No, but it's pretty brutal and pretty epic metal. So I was like, I dig it. I told him I have a charred cloak and a charred hand. What else?
Yeah.
Well,
And I didn't feel that evil presence when I picked it up.
You did not feel any evil presence when you picked it up. Just the searing pain that happened,
no,
so
which happens whenever you pick up a sword, obviously.
Pick that up.
Right, so Ciil awakens from a meditative stupor, feeling the energy, around Desmos, and I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
We already, she already cast Identify. I believe.
Did it work?
Yeah. You know everything
You
about
find
this.
that demon?
No, but you wouldn't know that because Ivetta hasn't expressed it to anybody.
Well, that's the Arcana check.
No, you don't know that.
But I could feel its vibe.
Who could you?
If I roll high enough.
But what I'm saying, like, if you didn't know that, you wouldn't.
What is the question that's happening right now?
Trying to roll an Arcana check.
To see what?
To feel its vibe. It's a vibe check.
Okay, sure, go ahead and vibe check the sword.
Six, 16 to
It's so.
So you vibe check the sword, and it feels from a distance very much like every other sword you've encountered ever.
got a cool vibe. I dig it.
It's a cool sword. That's interesting.
Why can no one feel it? Why can no one feel the demon inside of it?
Except for us.
I did.
Except us.
Which I should tell them.
Maybe it's probably like
I mean, it might not be a demon, but it sure sounds like it.
it's probably something like if someone first picks it up, and then like if anyone else touches it, it's probably like a reaction. I don't know.
That could be it.
And in order to attune to it, I have to take a long rest or something, right?
A short rest.
Oh, a short rest, eh? How long's a short rest again? 30 minutes?
I think it's basically at least an hour
So-
of doing nothing besides
So
attuning.
when I cast Identify, it didn't do anything to me.
No, you can. Do you have to touch the object when you cast Identify?
Yeah, you do the
Oh.
whole time.
Yeah, my bad. So like, I guess if you
Okay,
want to,
listen, really quick. Hold on. It says that if it's a magic item or some other magically imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, and whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You
Okay.
can learn whether any spells
Does
are
it say
affecting the item
touching?
and what they are. Huh?
does it say touching? You have to touch it.
It says you must touch throughout the casting of a spell.
Uh,
If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn
Okay.
what spells,
Yeah,
if
so
any, are currently
I guess if
affecting
we
it.
want to go back in time to when Ivetta touches it, if she wants to not touch it, that same experience happens to Waywocket before Ivetta as she identified the sword.
So rude.
So in this instance,
Brings it
Waywocket.
over, shocks me with death.
Yeah, so Waywocket took the damage. Waywocket discovered that the sword has like the qualities, but also something nefarious.
How many hit points was that for?
4.
So not any that I could afford to lose. Thanks, bud.
Okay, so then if that's all rewound, Desmos is gonna look at Waywocket with a furrowed brow and heal her as he asks her what happened or what's wrong.
So basically, this sword seems to be possessed by demons. You have to attune to it. It requires attunement, and what other properties does it have that I need to tell him?
Basically what I already told him, the damage that it does, that it's
Okay.
+2, requires attunement, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But does she know who made it or why?
Yeah. Do I have any more information about like the
You do
way
not.
it made me feel?
You do
with
not.
the demon thing.
No.
Okay.
The way it made you feel, huh?
Didn't I feel like I was being possessed by a demon or something?
I don't know, Ciil says. Seems like a pretty dope sword to me.
Would be no idea what that word
Which-
means.
I guess Desmos will attune to it. Like, I don't know what everyone else is doing.
Okay, well, you just wait for the next hour to pass. You are sitting there focusing on attuning to this weapon. Which means no interruptions to Desmos.
She's just kidding.
I didn't hear what she said.
She said, I'm going to try and throw a little pebble at his head. And then Matt was like, she's just kidding.
Rydoth watches this whole interaction, He furrows his brow and talks to the party about Desmos, who's in the corner meditating. And he says, I see he found the cursed blade. I would have told him not to pick it up, but seeing as he has already done so, clearly it is something he now has to deal with.
Runewood asks
So now
if there
this
are any other items that should not be touched that are in the vicinity or in the village.
He's like, I wouldn't touch any of the bushes on account of the twig blights, but I'm pretty sure the dragon has a pretty nice hoard, so take your chances with any of the items that you may or may not touch. You never know what's cursed.
All right, Ciil's gonna hear that and smack the nearest bush with his quarterstaff.
Wait, but we're inside.
Walk outside and smack a bush.
I thought we're all in those ruins.
We're all inside.
So he grabbed the sword and then came back in like.
Yes, he walked out and then walked.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. Well, Ciil is gonna bumble his way towards the door, shoulder it open, and stride out into the blackness. With an aura of inviting others with him.
What did
He won't.
the campaign? Like, should we continue? Should we just poke around?
It's almost 11.
I'm just curious with Hannah's situation. Is she going to be able to join us next week? Does she want us to just like I felt like we've covered like enough to call it a night, but like I don't want her to just let
We didn't
us.
do anything huge.
Yeah, I don't want her to just carry on because she feels bad because something came up, and since she is like a consistent member of this campaign, I don't want to just like blow through a week without her. Like, you guys have made progress getting to the next area. You've got a lot of information from this session. Like, I'm just wondering, like, at what point, like, do we like this as a whole start of a dungeon at 11? I'm just wondering where, like, where your
we
conversation with
should definitely
Hannah
wait
went.
for Hannah.
Seems like a natural quitting time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just gonna see if there's a way.
Is there any? I mean, like, we have. It's only 10:40, so if there's any like role playing or conversating that wants to be done, like, you guys have other items even still that haven't been identified, and like, I'm just curious, what else do you guys want to do like, with this time?
Rangswarthy pulls out this tiny little jade statue of a frog and walks over to Waywocket and says, "Can you read this? I don't think it'll burn you."
What can you tell me again what it is that you have?
It's a tiny jade statue of a frog with gold orbs for eyes.
Where did you find that again?
That was in Kragma Hideout.
Like, way forever ago?
Cave.
Oh,
Yeah. Even Waywocket with her ability in the wizardry arts, she can tell just by looking at it that it holds no magical aura.
Yeah, Runewood concurs and says that to him. It seems like it's just a trinket.
Sun Elf statue.
And we already did checks on the little idols that we found in.
Did you?
Not the statue. No, we stopped it there because Waywocket ran out of spells.
Okay, so we have
Right.
there are gold objects. There's a censer, a tablet, a knife, and then a statue of a Gubliet, I think, or something.
A Sun Elf
Or yeah, a Sun Elf statue.
that had magical properties.
Yeah, who is the Sun Elf?
Yep. So instead of I whip out, instead of the jade frog, I say, how about this Sun Elf?
Okay, yeah, I'll cast Identify on the Sun Elf.
As you identify the magic surrounding this Sun Elf, you see that it is imbued with the spell Augury, which you know reveals specific results about a course of action you plan to take within a specific period of time. However,
Yep.
the augury specifically on this statue comes from a source that seems to have nefarious intent.
So another cursed item.
Right, so to consult with it would likely yield an untrue result.
Not necessarily untrue, but this statue was used in the worship of a goblin god, and it may reveal why it was being used in that way, as the specific source of revelation may not be from a source that necessarily likes your party.
Ciil feels the fire burn within him, and he desires to destroy the object.
I thought you were outside whacking bushes.
Yeah.
Wasn't-
Well, you said you went in.
yeah, I'm just in the darkness.
You're just waiting for people to join you. Nah.
Right, Ciil
Can
smack-
I?
You smack the bush, nothing happens.
Can I talk, Ivetta? When you were back there, you found some. What did you find? You found.
Yeah, I found a scroll of silence and a scroll of
Revivify. What are the do we know about those scrolls, the scroll of silence and the scroll of revivify? It sounded like Rangswarthy knew.
If Ivetta tells you that she found
Runewood
him,
knew.
then she does.
Huh?
If
Sorry?
Ivetta told you she found him, then you do.
Just a question about the game. Like, for scrolls, when you find scrolls, those are spells that are not on the list, right?
So when you find scrolls,
Yeah.
basically the way they work is that anyone can use and consume that spell, and when you use and consume the spell, the scroll vanishes, right? But a wizard specifically can take that scroll, learn the spell from it, which will then allow them to cast it multiple times. However, it also consumes the scroll.
Oh,
Revivify automatically revives anyone who's died and gives them 1 hit point. But it costs 300 gold pieces.
Yes, and I was curious at what point you guys want to start bringing spell components into the campaign.
well, but like if we already possess gold, would we have to spend gold? Like, how would you pay gold to the scroll?
So gold cost in spells is usually like the cost that indicates like what items you require to cast it.
Okay, so it's just like, right. So does that mean, so instead of saying you must go find diamonds in order to utilize this scroll, you just subtract gold pieces?
That's exactly the option that it's giving you, is that like diamonds worth 300 gold pieces. In the more casual campaigns, you could just pay 300 gold pieces.
Okay. So what I was asking was, well, Ivetta or Hadassah, did you tell us about these scrolls? Do we know about them or no? We don't know about them. Right?
When did you find them?
show them in
Oh yeah,
In the owlbears.
and are all the scrolls the same price, or do they vary?
Are they the same what?
Price to acquire knowledge of.
Oh
Like-
no, that requires Blue would know, with being a wizard, that the higher level the spell, like the higher second, third, fourth, whatever level the spell is, the more time and money it requires to copy. And she can only copy spells that she like also can know. Like she can't copy a 7th level spell right now. It would require her to be whatever level it is that unlocks 7th level spells.
Okay, so can we show her all the scrolls that we have?
I mean, you're
I
welcome
was
to do
just
whatever you
gonna say
want.
that, like, there's a lot of scrolls that are floating about, but I don't actually know which ones, who has
Right.
which ones.
As you guys
Yeah.
start to divvy out scrolls, Ciil notices that a twig blight, well, I guess he notices because a twig blight jumps from a bush which he assumed was a bush, onto his face and starts clawing at him wildly.
He is pained greatly, but also slightly overjoyed.
Slightly.
Let me see
Works.
what happens here. The twig blight does 3 damage to your face.
His 3 damage to your
Damage
face.
to just my face. He nibbles my eyebrows viciously.
The twig blight scratches and claws at your cheeks, screeching wildly.
What can you do, man?
Ciil will grab the twig blight by its lack of face and cast it, dashing it upon the ground.
Twig blights have a face. It's a small humanoid that is made of twigs.
Groot.
Right, but it doesn't have a face though.
Yeah, it's like exactly like Groot. It has a face. It has a feelings. It has a family.
Yeah, man. It's a bush family.
It has a nibblesome.
It has it's like Stickman.
So you throw him on the ground. Go ahead and roll d6.
Grab it by its definite faceness. And I will do 6 whole damage to it.
As you throw it on the ground, it sort of shatters apart into twigs and doesn't coalesce.
I chuckle to myself, clutching my nibbled eyebrow.
Yes. You may return
And then
to
Ciil
scroll.
is going to say, any more of you?
Runewood peeks out and says, "What's up? What's going on?"
As you turn your back to look at Runewood, the wind blows through the area, and have you guys ever watched Princess Mononoke with those little chittering?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the bushes. It seems like some forces in the brush, and it's all the sticks are clacking dangerously.
But back in.
Ciil squints his eyes in devious expectation and unbuttons his shirt, preparing to activate the mantle.
Runewood closes the door again.
As you close the door and the light from the cottage winks out of existence, a horde of twig blights appear from the brush and start approaching you. And you can see their body parts moving in the brush. They're hard to identify how many there are, and their little beady eyes staring at you in the night, reflecting moonlight.
Oh my god.
Wait, Runewood just shut the door,
Yes!
leading still outside?
Yep.
Well, Ciil just unbuttoned his shirt, so Runewood's like, I don't need to see that.
Well, he's done that in every battle, so.
You little beady little creatures. You just
Doesn't he have to do that for his,
Two of the
glowing-
twig blights jump on your ankles, each individually. One of them jumps on your back, and then the rest of them are getting closer for the dog pile. The 2 on your ankles do.
stick pile, you mean?
Okay, you know what? Runewood
It does a total of 4 damage to you, biting your ankles.
cared. Runewood hears a little bit of noise outside, and so he opens the door, sees what's going on, and he casts Sacred Flame
On which one?
on one of the ones nibbling his ankles.
Okay. You cast Sacred Flame on one of the ones nibbling his ankles, and it goes up in flames.
Okay.
Ciil has still taken 4 damage, and the dog pile is approaching closer.
Wait, they're overcoming my AC with their nibbling teeth.
They are.
What the heck are they rolling? Are you rolling for them, or are you just making me get nibbled?
I'm making you get nibbled.
You're dead by 1,000 nibbles.
Can I cast Sacred Flame again?
Yeah, okay, Ciil methodically smacks each and every one before they can nibble.
It's an overwhelming force of twigs, and as you smack them as they come in, but eventually, like, a couple get through. Let's say you take out 3 of them. But even more piling on top of each other, and you're drowning in a sea of twigs.
Waywocket joins Runewood at the door and casts firebolt at one of the ones close by.
Rangswarthy walks up to the door and just leans smoking.
I shall out-nimble their nibbles.
You bite one of the twig blights, and it gives you like the most confused look it's ever had, but it does enough damage to kill it, and it dies.
Okay, I'll deal with that, but I say nimble, as in I'm going to dance around it.
Oh, gotcha. I thought I said you were going to out-nibble their nibbles.
Dude, why not?
Let's see,
Okay, you break free of the nibbling twig blights. In the dog pile, you took an additional 4 damage.
Oh my gosh.
And as you jump away from the twig blights, spinning your staff ferociously, you knock 2 of them aside again, and 1 twig blight remains, and he turns tail, dives into the bush, and disappears.
Hilarious.
How much damage did you take? Like 8
11.
Oh my god.
21.
Rydoth sticks his head outside and he's like, exactly what I told you not to do.
Runewood and says, "Get back in here, you fool!"
Ciil was
Rydoth-
meditated. He was told that.
Rydoth walks over and says, it's really okay. This was a learning experience. And I mean, here, have some good berries. And he hands you 10 good berries.
That was very nice.
Okay.
Should have made him take a short rest.
He pats you on the back and he's like, I understand. The twig blights are ferocious little buggers.
Meanwhile, Rangswarthy approaches Waywocket and says, I possess a scroll of memory. It would be much better if you could learn that and we could dispose of this elven statue, or maybe sell it.
Or dispel it and then some.
Can you dispel an item?
So you said you have a scroll of what? I'm sorry.
Augury, the same thing that elf statue enables, except you don't have the devious connection.
Where did you get that?
Okay. If I look at that spell scroll, Elias, can you give me more information on that?
Yeah, you mean just to transfer the spell scroll to your spellbook?
Well, no, because I don't even know if I can. I don't even know what level it is or what it does or anything.
Oh, I mean, so Augury is a 2nd level, what is it? 2nd level divination spell. So like it's like you would be able to learn it,
Okay.
but like just reading the spell scroll, you know what it does based on that. But like to copy it to your spellbook requires the
Obviously,
stuff. So.
Elias, I have a question. Would I be able to use my proficiency in religion to do anything to the statue since it is religiously connected curse-wise?
Sure. Yeah. If you come up with some reasoning on how you would handle the situation, I would allow something like that to occur.
Okay, sweet. All right, so Ciil is going to stride back inside, rubbing his eyebrow and limping slightly on his ankles, picking good berries.
Limping on your ankles.
Right.
What? Limping because of my ankle. Okay, you get it. He walks inside, trying to save face, and is going to take a look at the object, and he overhears the conversation going about concerning the object, and he's going to place his hand on the statue and activate the mantle into it to kind of use his religious ancestry to combat the religion inside of the object.
So, can I just say something for like flavor?
Yeah, flavor it.
I just imagine this like as Ciil grabs it these phantom fists of all his ancestors come in, smacking into the statue, grabbing it from all angles. And Elias, you can take it away.
As you invoke the deity that speaks through this statue, you hear the ancient, deep, evil rumblings of one who has not named himself, and he says, "How dare you?"
Do I get to respond?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I dare on the merit of my ancestors before me who are great in deed and great in name, and I cast you out.
Yeah, the ancient evil voice laughs slowly and anciently and says, "Your ancestors are but a blot on a page of history. I have existed long before even mankind existed."
Laughing anciently.
Laughing anciently, he says,
Neat. That sounds like you're a thing of the past.
"Because I am part of the past, the present, and the future. I will persist unto all time, where you, a mere mortal, have no business discussing these matters with me."
Sure, but you can exist outside of our statue, perhaps.
He's like, "I use this statue as a means to communicate, not as my physical presence. You could not last even a moment in my divine presence."
Rather petty, don't you think? I mean, it's a tiny statue. I can hold it in my hand.
The statue starts to get warmer. You could tell you've aggravated this deity, and he says, "Fine, take the statue as an example. But if I brought you to my plane, you would literally combust into flame."
Ciil has very little intelligence, but has the wisdom to not challenge him to take him to his plane if he existed.
That is wise.
That's the best thing you've ever said.
Very wise of you.
I did just get a wisdom modifier. Yeah, so
Wow.
it's starting to actually work. Okay, so I can't roll any kind of religion check against it to test it out. It's too strong.
As far as, like, what exactly are you attempting to do with it?
Get out of our statue.
Oh,
This is
you just
I'm
want
trying
him to...
to destroy his communication device.
You're trying
cut the
to
connection
cut the connection?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead and actually roll a wisdom check. Wisdom modifier check.
17. That's a good start.
17 plus 3?
Plus 3, yeah.
Nice, okay. So, as you are discussing with this deity, you are finding the magical connection points that he has with the statue, and you feel confident that you can sever them.
You sever the chakra.
Yeah.
The chakra
So I increase the strength of my fist and the ancestors clenching around it, kind of like squeeze it in fast, kind of staccato, crushing movements, and I dispel the religious connection inside.
As you perform this action, the great evil yells in rage, and you can feel like a specific point of pressure in your skull, and it says, "You will live to regret this, Arnon," and it fades.
Ciil is completely ignores the warning and holds the statue up above his head in triumph.
Nice.
Like a trophy.
The statue maintains its spell of augury, but no longer seems to carry this presence of evil.
It's like the only good thing Ciil's done.
Dang.
Well, maybe he should retain the
So, Waywocket did cast Identify, right? So, is this spell, like, does it recharge after a certain period of time?
Identify?
Yeah, so when you identified it, you know that it is attuned in a specific way that whenever any living creature uses it, it can never use it again.
So, one creature can use it during its entire lifetime, essentially.
Yes, one creature.
have
Well,
them all.
well, each of you can use it once in your lifetime. Like if Desmos used it, he could never use it again, but Waywocket still has the ability to use it.
Makes sense. Are there any spells that can reset that?
Not that I'm necessarily aware of. You could re-enchant it. Like you could theoretically dismiss whatever magic's on it and re-enchant it with a finer tuned augury, but the current form that it is only one creature at a time, which is why you kind of deduce probably that's why the goblins were constantly bringing people in to be sacrificed, maybe to use this item over and 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 over.
Ooh, the re-enchant. But it's not even connected to
Summer. wait, no, come back.
Oh, it's pretty cool though. We can predict some different scenarios for the future.
Well, I mean, and Waywocket could predict unlimited scenarios of the future, but perhaps with
Well, he has
a scroll
Right, you
she has
still
to
have to
pay
you still have to the casting off.
just to decide if it's worth it. But maybe she could find a way to fuse the scroll with the statue so that any party member could use the statue.
Why is
Any number of, I don't know.
it double it? Okay, Elias, I do have a question in regards to the Sunblade though.
Yeah.
So, a curse I know wouldn't technically be considered evil, but like, can you confirm that Desmos would not have detected any evil from the blade, even though it like creeped Waywocket out?
Yeah, so it does not give any like evil, like it bears no evil intent towards you,
Okay.
which is why you don't detect any evil.
Well, did it have evil intent against Waywocket?
It had murderous, harmful intent against Waywocket.
Okay. I mean, it sounds evil, but it necessarily.
What is it though?
This is my murder sword. It doesn't want to murder me, but it wants to murder everybody else.
Sounds legit.
You're just gonna randomly start murdering party members.
Oh, that'd be so weird. That'd be pretty awesome.
You don't give your hubby any ideas. Leave.
That's a good point.
I want to go through the process of re-rolling a new character this season.
As you swing your sword into the enemy goblin, it deflects and goes right through Waywocket's head.
Yeah, exactly. Nope.
Oh my goodness, this is Brick Blade essentially. I can use a bonus action to like ignite it and sear, so I could like touch it against someone, and then ignite it against.
Oh, like
them.
what Ray did with Snoke?
Favor.
I never watched it, so I don't
Oh,
know.
wow. That's exactly what she did.
No, that was
That's a bad reference, and you should feel bad.
I know. I'm actually trying to get a response out of you all.
You need to clean your mouth out. That's disgusting.
okay. How about this? The second sister did that to the poor scrapper guy.
Okay.
That'll-
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're allowed to reference them. Anywho,
Rangswarthy, the scroll of augury that you had.
Yes.
What you wanted me to do something with that?
I wanted you to determine if it was worth adding to your inventory to copy it, or if it's too costly, or what.
Gotcha. Yeah. How do I know how much that one costs?
That's in the player handbook on
Okay.
copying spells in the wizard section, which I will get to presently.
Well, I pulled up the spell right here, but I don't see where it tells me what the components are, but I don't see
Yeah. So it's a spell book. Copying a spell into your book. When you find a wizard spell first level or higher, you can add it. Copying a spell. For each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold.
Okay. It's,
Also, I would have accepted any reference to the Tricata form of lightsaber combat, as it is a form that utilizes turning on and off a lightsaber mid-combat, which is dope AF.
So were you? I was. It's kind of hard to hear like everybody for me for some reason, but like the sun elf, now that we've dispelled the evil thing out of it, you said we could use, everybody can use that one time to cast the spell augury?
Yes. Any living creature can use it one time in their life to cast the spell augury.
Then I would say, Rangswarthy, yes, it would behoove me to write this down and put it in my spell book, since we all have the opportunity to cast this without having to use the scroll. If I can copy the scroll and use it that way, then I'll have this spell forever, and I can use it over and over. And then we'll all have a chance to use that spell with the Sun Elf.
So what level is it?
It says it's level 2.
Oh, okay, so that would only take you 100.
Yeah. Also, I have no idea how much gold I have.
We in the chats we were dividing it up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Not the campaign notes, the other chat.
Okay, I'll look in there.
I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick while you guys discuss this.
Okay, and then Rangsworthy, if there are any other scrolls that people feel would be helpful for the wizard.
So, Blue, just remember that I gave you, what was it? I gave you a spell, or a scroll of fireball and something else.
Okay.
Written down.
I feel like I did write that down somewhere, but I'm not seeing it like right in front of me. So let me rewrite that down.
I don't remember what the other spell was, but it was 2 different ones. I think it was charm, charm creature or something.
Okay.
Or charm creature. I'll have to double check. What do you mean? No, because I gave them. Like when I found them in the chest.
But Elias can go back and say what they were.
I know one of them was fireball because overpowered spell.
I remember that too because actually I remember talking to Elias. The 2 spells that you found are of levels higher than I can copy at this time, but I'm pretty sure one of them is level 3.
Yeah,
so it'll be like.
But now we're level 4.
I think it's
right. I don't have level 3 spell slots yet, though. Even though I'm level 4, I only have level 2 spell slots.
Waywocket, would you benefit from the school?
I'm so sorry. I'm having such a hard time hearing you.
Would you like to hold on to the scroll of silence and the scroll of revivify? Any? Yes.
Sure.
Revivify would probably be useful.
No, hold on.
Touch a creature that is died. You touch a creature that has died. The creature dies and you touch it. The creature returns to life. 1 hit point.
So even if it's
Yes.
It's not even 12 volume here. Okay. Thank you.
Oh.
Wow, so yeah, that's really valuable. What level is
Can
it?
you say all that again? I'm so sorry. I didn't hear you, Ethan.
I was teaching her how to turn up Discord volume.
Revivify. You touch a creature that has died within the last minute. That creature returns to life with 1 hit point. The spell can't return life to a creature that has died of old age, or it can't restore missing body parts.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
What level is it?
3.
Level 3. Okay. And what was the other one? The
Silence.
Silence is level
Silence is level 2 illusion. For the duration, no sound can be created within or through the 20-foot radius sphere centered on the point you choose within range. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage. Creatures are deafened while entirely inside. Casting a spell that includes verbal component is which most spells are verbal. So pretty much every spell doesn't work in that.
Basically an assassin.
Yeah.
Or a sneak.
Sweet. Elias.
Yes.
Desmos was reminding me that he gave me 2 spells or 2 scrolls a while back, and I thought I'd written them down, and maybe they're in my notes, and that's why I'm not finding them. But one of them was Fireball. Do you remember what the other one was? Did you write that down somewhere?
Maybe I should be. I didn't write it down, but let me see if I can quickly.
Okay, I'll look back through my notes.
I think I recall where it would have been.
Yeah, they were looted from Glassstaff.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure it's Glassstaff.
Oh, okay.
It was a scroll of Charm Person and a scroll of Fireball.
Charm Person.
Nice remembering brain.
What is Charm Person? What level is that?
Charm Person is a first level enchantment.
Range must make wishes. If it fails, it is charmed until it is.
What does charmed mean?
It regards you as friendly and friendly. And when it ends, it knows it's been charmed. Also, there is a condition. This charmed creature can't get the charm. Its medical abilities are charmer has advantage and ability to socially creatures.
Okay.
It's like when you're trying to get information.
It seems that Runewood might benefit most from learning the Scroll of Silence and the Scroll of Charming.
Yes.
Yeah, Revivify.
Revivify maybe.
I don't think silence because you just said you can.
I can know that after one list. That's mitigating. It's fine. That's
No, you
part of
know
my
that.
yes. That's part of part of what I can already know.
Like,
I already know that. Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay.
The Revivify. I think maybe.
So if Runewood learns Revivify, he's always closer. Well, not always, but he has better armor than.
Yeah. 100%.
So maybe Revivify and Charm should go to Runewood, and
Perfect. Love it.
Silence should go to, and Augury should go to Waywocket.
Perfect.
But you can't learn Fireball yet because you got level 3.
Right.
And what was the other one? So Fireball, Augury, and
Silence.
And Silence are the 3 for you. Are any of those? I think Augury was level 2, right?
Yes, it is.
It's 2.
And then what about the Silence? That was level 2 as well, right?
Yes.
So basically, if we spent 8 hours in rest and Waywocket didn't sleep, but was studying, by morning she could have learned the two spells that she's capable of learning.
Right.
Provided she has enough gold, like if we chip in.
Yes, we'll check. I'm gonna go back and look at the chat.
Because all of us should have close to 100 pieces of gold, I think.
Good.
Or no, not that. I have 64.
Yeah, I always
So that would cost, if it's 8 hours, it's 50 gold pieces an hour. So it'd be 300 gold pieces for Waywocket.
Well, I don't think it's per hour. It's
Unless it's prepared all the time.
It's
I thought it said-
for each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces.
So at level 2, it costs 4 hours and 100.
Yes.
Elias, I have a question.
Yes.
So they're wanting to give me the Revivify scroll. However, as we, both talked about yesterday, that's going to be like an automatic one for me at 3rd level anyway. So unless this one acts as like, a cleric, a life cleric, which is like basically a freebie, like that's always prepared, then there's no point in me having the scroll.
Let me look at cleric. So you said as a cleric, at what level? 3rd, 4th, like your 3rd level. So you're saying you have it now?
No, I don't have it now. But once I get a 3rd level spell slot, it will be available to me, after a long rest.
Oh yeah.
So which is literally
no
next
point.
level.
Right. But there's no point in me having it unless, like, having the scroll unless it's like it acts as like a freebie,
And also the scroll, once you use it, once it's gone, you'll learn it as a freebie life domain spell at 5th level. At 5th level,
it's a life.
at 5th level, as a life domain cleric, you get Beacon of Hope and Revivify as freebie cleric spells.
Well, that's right.
Yeah, so you especially will not need this scroll because you're like a life domain cleric that just sort of casts Revivify in your sleep.
Right, exactly. Okay.
But right now, she and she's like could learn it. I guess Paladins could use it. Could we not?
Well, keep in mind the only reason Waywocket can actually learn this spell is because she's a wizard, and wizards can learn any spell.
Okay, so Lainey can't just learn.
No.
Yeah, that's also what I was wondering.
I mean, that.
Anyone can use the scroll one time, but no one is able to just take the scroll, learn it, and then cast it from that point on.
Okay, yeah, then that pretty much negates like its usefulness to me.
Right, and
So-
it's a one-time scroll too, right?
Yes, so it's a one-time use scroll. If for example Desmos were to die, Ivetta used the scroll to revive him. The scroll goes up like it perishes, and now you guys don't have it at all. Whereas Waywocket can learn it. It consumes the scroll, but at least she can cast it like whenever she wants at that point moving forward, as many times as she wants.
Yeah. Then Runewood is going to go ahead and pass the scroll on the Revivify scroll onto Waywocket.
Cool.
And what level was that one?
For me, it's a 3rd level, but I don't know what it is if that changes for different classes.
Revivify is a 3rd level necromancy spell. So Waywocket can't even learn it at this point in time.
On to that one in Fireball.
That one, you gain 3rd level spell slots at
Level 5.
level 5.
Next
so
level.
next level you can spend some time and money learning your new spells.
But she can learn it this time. She could learn scroll of
I
charm,
could learn-
person, and the
Yeah.
scroll of silence.
The silence?
No.
I gave Charm Person to Runewood.
Well, she gave it back because she can't.
Oh, wait. No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, because I
She-
can't.
yeah, she
I
can't
can't
learn
learn
it.
spells.
You
I'm just like everyone else because I'm not a wizard.
Oh.
So you have the scroll of charm, scroll of silence, and scroll of augury that you can learn all of those right now. You just can't learn
Yes.
fireball or revivify.
Cool. I understand now. Okay, where's my... Would that go into equipment? Where do you even put all this?
You could put it in your equipment.
Okay, so then which one was level 1? One of these was a level 1.
That's charm person.
Okay, so if she learned all 3 of these, it would take her 10 hours and 250 gold pieces. If we just rested in this room for 10 hours and just basically kept learning.
Hmm.
Gold. It's not time. So
Rydoth opens one eye. Oh, don't mind me, just meditating.
Um,
Well,
Desmos is fidgeting. He's not just meditating.
What is the safety of this?
I think it's relatively safe. He seems familiar.
Yeah, please.
I vote for everyone keeping watch, except for anyone who might need to rest. Which I think Ciil. Well, he can have those berries.
Yeah.
So you consumed all the berries.
Yeah, my eyebrows still, nibble inside.
Yeah.
The
So
back of my head.
what say you?
We are not hearing anything you guys are saying.
Say you.
Hello?
Are you muting it?
No.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. It was like you were a robot.
Oh, yeah, the ping is super high.
Yes, I see 999.
I was saying, this is an opportune time to keep watch and let Ciil finish healing his eyebrow that has been nicked and not healed by the berries. And Waywocket can learn 3 new spells that could aid us in
Does she have
ransacking us.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, for how much that's gonna cost, where did we? I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of writing that down. Gold.
Each of the 7 of us should have over 50 gold pieces.
Hang on a mo. Elias,
Yes.
if per se Desmos had a gem that was worth at least 250 gold, could she use that instead?
She could, and it would consume the gem.
What gem is it?
I have a couple.
It's not the stuff that. It's like, hey, that's mine.
That reminds me.
Good point.
Elias, Elias, did you see my questions about the gems that I have? For
Yeah, I did see your question about the gems. Basically, like, when you have a ruby versus, like, ruby earrings, a ruby is a significant gemstone. Ruby earrings are, like, small pieces of ruby that have been crafted into jewelry. So it's like the value of them is wildly different because like a dragon would hoard a ruby as like the like its treasured item, but like ruby earrings are just jewelry.
Okay.
After Desmos is going to pluck 2 carnelian gems and flick them to Waywocket. This might help in your payment for those spells.
Well, how much does he need?
Yeah, how much
Does
are
he
they
need
worth?
both?
Thank you. I was gonna say, I think according to what I have written down, I have 47 gold. I don't know how many silver equals 1 gold though.
And
10. Oh, okay, so I have more than that. 27. So,
I mean, if you have 100, we could pitch in 100 gold, I guess, but 50 gold.
Yeah.
It's not much.
Not terrible.
So, Desmos gives you 2 carnelian gems.
Don't you have? Well, do you have it?
Not that would be like 250. Let me have a pearl. Let's see how much that was. 8 gold points.
Oh wait, that'd be perfect.
No, he tosses you a pearl and a carnelian.
thank you.
The perfect amount. All right, so now we can like all rest and like Ciil can sleep to heal the 1 hit point on his eyebrow, and the rest of us can watch. And could I start crafting my jawbone knives from the wolf jaws?
Absolutely, you can. As you're all sitting in this hut. Rydoth hums a tune, and the night progresses. At one point or another, all of you feel this enchanting desire to doze off and fall asleep, except for Ivetta. And who else is? Is there anyone else that's full elf? I don't think anyone else is full elf.
Ezra.
Well, Ezra doesn't count, does he?
No.
Nope, we got a couple half elves, but no full elves. Okay, so Ivetta's the only one who remains awake, but the rest of you fall into an enchanted slumber, presumably because Rydoth's singing. Go ahead.
Sir, my character sheet says I have advantage against being summoned, and magic can't put me.
Oh,
to
is that
sleep.
half elves as well?
I don't know. That's what my chart says.
Well, if that's true, then that would apply to Hannah as well, because she's a half elf.
That's true. If it's half elves as well, yeah, you both have Fey ancestry, which is what that is. Great. So then you also don't fall asleep, and neither.
So Ciil knows the song slightly and sings along in a low voice, completely unaware that everyone else is being charmed.
Perfect. So as everyone dozes off, Rydoth leaves the hut quietly, and what's that?
Oh, but like Ciil and Shaye and Ivetta see him. They're not-
Yes, he's content with them seeing him. He doesn't have a problem with it. He opens the door to the hut, turns back, looks at them who are presumably watching him leave, gives them a wink, and like smiles a very toothless grin. Closes the door and runs off to do something. As you awake in the morning, he has not yet returned, and this is probably where we should call it for the evening.
But three
Are we
people
not allowed to like do something when we see him leave? Like,
follow him or
Ciil is sure as heck not going to let him kill any cults without it.
Sure. I mean, you're welcome to pursue if you'd like.
We can say he sneaks out and we're about to do something.
Well, maybe. But yeah, I'm not.
Because- Yeah.
I mean, we could go back to when he's leaving if you'd like to do something in that moment.
You know, Elias, the funny thing is, I was thinking about rolling an insight against this guy, and I didn't.
You were thinking about rolling a what against this guy?
An insight check, and I decided against it.
Oh, I don't think you needed to roll an insight check. He's a pretty cool guy.
Says who?
Interesting. Says Ciil's magic. So, what say, since 3 of the party will be awake, what say we still stop here, but we pick up next session still during the night, so that Hannah can do things with her stealthiness and whatnot.
Dang it! So that means that Waywocket's learning of the scrolls is interrupted.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that.
Wait, what?
Can she learn them in her sleep?
No.
She cannot. But we'll say that it happens. You have had the time. You may pick one spell scroll to have learned in this time. Which one
Okay.
did you first start working on?
I haven't even really looked into all of them. I'll just do the first one that I had written down. So silence.
Silence. Okay. You have written silence into your spell book before you fell asleep.
Okay.
He didn't sneak up. He winked his own.
Yes.
Plus, he just wanted to interrupt the wizard. Dang it!
Get him.
Get him. We'll put a twig in his ear.
The thing.
I still have that same twig. I'll put it back.
We'll track him down.
Yeah. I'll infuse him with dwarven earwax.
Gross.
The goose is dead. Alright, well, guess that's that.
I think we got that scroll so soon.
Slept.
Yeah, a lot of hashing going on, but we'll be really having
Hash
hash.
bash.
Having hash.
So are we in some kind of like weird sleep? Did Rydoff
Haberdasher.
put us into a weird sleep, or is it just like a normal sleep? He just like was singing.
He just put you into a magical sleep that you awoke from, feeling more rested than you ever have in your entire life.
Mm.
I know.
Well, I mean, I
Rangswarthy-
guess I had a long rest, so I can go back up to my normal hit points. That's helpful.
you were damaged.
Yes, by the dumb sword.
Tuckerman, Desmos healed you.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's-
My bad.
Ooh, back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Desmos. My bad. I missed that part.
So was this a long?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
It was
It was from night until
Then I might like
change.
out some spells, knowing kind of ahead of us.
Yeah, go for it.
I think I'm gonna do that I'll do that during.
So we'll go ahead and we'll stop our session now as far as like official business. I love that you guys were using the chats. That's kind of why I made them as like a point of information for all of you. And then also just for next week, those of you that don't feel good about your 4th level stuff, we didn't actually do much with that this session, obviously. The offer to use and change your feats, if you don't like them, will stand for next session, but I encourage you to do more thinking on them over the next week so that by next session you have definitely researched and read up on what you definitely want. But if you need that extra time, I'm fine with that as well.
Okay, and then everyone should also know. I think you said in the chats, but everyone should add potion of healing to their inventory. There were 7 of them, and 7 of us.
Thank you.
Indeed.
It's greater potion.
Are they? Yeah, and I asked about potions too. Are they greater potions of healing, or what?
They
class?
are regular potions of healing.
All 7 of them.
All of them are.
All right. Good deal. And then, my question about Nightshade. I could not find that online.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
other-
the ingredient.
Yeah. So I was wondering what how I would identify uses or value.
So I guess like basically powdered nightshade is like essentially like, so it's one of those things where like ingredients for potions are very strange. So
What's
like
creature flavor?
what's that?
Is it the Nightshade creature in powder form?
So like basically they're not official in any way. Like they never officially denoted that Nightshade does anything in particular. So like we could come up with something if you wanted to temper with it and see like what effects it causes. I can workshop something for that. If we base it off of like the Odyssey, Nightshade caused Odysseus's men to like turn into pigs. Like so like maybe that's where that comes from, Nightshade, but like also it could be Nightshade like from the actual animal, like the creature.
Yeah.
So like I don't really know. Like I could go into what Nightshades do, and it like because it's supposed to be in reference to the invisibility potions that he was making. So like you could say that they also assist in the making of invisibility potions, but the like rulebook doesn't give any official guidance on it. So I think it might be in Tasha's guide to everything. So like I was thinking about buying that when I got paid next, just to have another resource for information. Just because like the player handbook is incomplete, and then like the DM handbook is incomplete, and then like over time they've like basically made Tasha's book of everything that kind of is an addendum to everything that the player handbook and the DM handbook don't contain. So like there's 4 books that any DM really should have. It's the player handbook, the DM handbook, Tasha's book to everything, and then the monster manual. Basically, all 4 of those together create like the entirety of like anything you would need at any time. And both the DM and player handbook, which I have, don't have, and the monster manual, they don't have much to do with alchemy ingredients as far as like nightshade, the effects of it. It's just not really jumped into so much. So
Okay.
like we could come up with something if that's something you want to pursue, like alchemy and whatnot. I think it's interesting, so like I would be willing to go into depth on it.
Are there any feats regarding alchemy?
I didn't see any.
Really quick. Hadassah, you're a ranger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually cannot learn silence. It is not a wizard spell. So I can use the scroll.
Are you sure
But-
about that?
But silence isn't a wizard spell.
Um,
It says it's for bards, clerics, or rangers.
Hmm.
And it's like
That-
wizard's
yeah,
not
you
even
can
in one of
you
the
can only
subclasses.
you can only copy wizard spells. That's true.
Right. So I could just I mean, I know that like I can still use the scroll, but like so could anybody else. So I should give it to somebody else who can just use it as a scroll.
I think Ivetta should just retain it then.
Yeah, I think you should just keep it, Dust.
And was that one that you just tried to learn, like just now?
It is. So I'm changing. I'm just gonna because I just realized that I can't learn it when I was looking at it. So I'll just go to augury instead.
Okay, then you
I'll
can
have
give
learned augury.
roll back or just keep it or whatever, but you don't need to use
Say that again.
you don't need to use the pearl, like because of you're not learning that spell now, so that you don't require that value.
Right. Oh, that's true. That's so true.
So-
Yeah.
You can either keep the pearl or give it back to Desmos.
Okay, sure. I will give it back to Desmos, and Desmos, if I need this in the future, if I don't come across any more gold, I'll check back with you and see if I can use this to learn my other spells.
That works.
So maybe you had that scroll back to.
I'm giving the scroll back to Ivetta.
Can you guys hear these noises?
Yes.
All right, awesome.
Is that the druid screaming?
I'm just making
Wait,
sure.
what?
I'm gonna try to start using the noise effects more.
Do it again.
And I would.
Oh, don't do that.
I can't hear anything.
Maybe your volume on Tabletop Simulator is turned down.
Maybe it is.
I was wondering about thinking about creative ways to use materials, and like I have a vial of mercury, which I know might be required for some spells, but I had also just encountered the idea of using it inside a weapon to increase weapon damage, like the way it was suggested being used, or it maybe has been used in other people's campaigns creatively, would be to essentially forge into a sword a channel where the mercury could flow, and then when you swing the sword, it flows from the hilt out to the blade and increases the weight of your attack. And I thought that was interesting. I just didn't know if that type of thing is something we could do crafting-wise.
I mean, I'm really just open to any creative ideas at all. There's like not a lot I'm gonna say no to unless it just makes the gameplay not fun.
Right.
So if you want to create a sword with a mercury channel, I feel like you should be empowered to create a sword with a mercury channel.
Okay, cool.
Anything else before we wrap up?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll plan for next week. Same time, I'll check with Hannah, make sure she's good. And then yeah, we'll start on the Ruins of Thunder Tree. I know like not a lot of like gameplay happened this session, but I feel like we got a lot done. Otherwise, like some fun stuff still occurred, and there was some good role playing. I feel like you guys are really getting into the swing of role playing. I'd still like to hear, like maybe more from Hadassah. I didn't hear Hannah a whole lot tonight.
I mentioned that.
Yeah, so but like Hadassah and Blue are, I think you guys are still getting comfortable with the idea of role playing, but like I hope you guys feel comfortable interjecting and playing your characters. And then Lainey, I felt like you were more involved tonight as well, which is good. I'm glad to see that everyone's getting comfortable with what's going on. So let me know if there's anything I can do to assist in that process.
Yeah, I thought tonight was fun.
It was.
Different flavor, but
Yeah, a little different flavor. It wasn't nearly as brutal as the Phandelver shopping spree of 2022.
Right.
I missed that.
Yes, but this was the great hashing of Thunder Tree.
Yes.
Hashing out everything.
Hashing out the hashing for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the developments of several things that happened tonight.
Yeah. I'm targeted. I'm targeted by some evil deity, and Tuckerman's cursed. This is great.
I look forward to seeing where that ends up. All right. Well, anyways, guys, love you. Have a great night.
Good night, Sinker.
Not.
Thanks for the sesh.
Yes, of course.
The sesh.
Okay, it's saved, and we are out of here.
Close enough.